Everybody, we are back with another Halo Flashpoint video. And that's right, we've got more FAQ and rules changes, which I'm going to go through right now. So these changes are part of the release of the Halo Flashpoint app. So I'll show you how to get to them, and we'll talk about what they mean for the game. So you go to app, you go to rules, you go down the bottom, you go to errata and changes. And then you can see errata change log. So often these amendments are updates necessitated by new releases or community feedback. At other times, these amendments are errata designed to correct mistakes or add clarity to a rule that is not clear as it might be. New or revised text is presented in red. So this is the latest update, April 2025, rules version 1.1. So first up, pinning. Models may no longer be moved when pinned. Remove the line of text in the rules where a model may be laid down. Place a pinned token next to it or on your model's character card. So I think something to note about this update to the pinning rule is it says models may no longer be moved. That is a misnomer, as it isn't what it actually intends to say. What that would imply is, say you had a model that gets shot by a knockback with rapid fire, such as the spike rifle. Knockback would knock the model back, and pinning would pin the model. And so it's a bit of confusion. What does that mean? It doesn't actually mean the model can't be moved. It means the model can't be laid down or repositioned in the cube when pinned. As the old rule said, a model may be repositioned in a cube and it may be laid down or a pinned token placed next to it. This just replaces the ability to remove the model and removes the ability to lay the model down. And now you may only place a pin token next to it. So I think that's probably a good change, and it makes it consistent for all players. So some people aren't laying it down and some people aren't placing tokens. And so it just makes it better for everyone. So the next change is sticky. Sticky. If 3 or more successes are rolled when making the range test for this weapon, it may deplete all energy shields of one model. This will be target model or one model in the target cube chosen by the attacking player, whichever applies to that ranged weapon test. Line of sight is no longer required. So this is a pretty substantial nerf to the elite models, as they all start with sticky grenades, and that is part of the reason they cost extra points. So what this means is previously on a 4+ dice with 3d8 dice, you'd throw a sticky grenade, and you had probably about a 74% chance, I think, somewhere around there. I'll put up an actual number. You have about a pretty good chance to trigger sticky on pretty much any model and automatically turn off their shields. But now that 2 dice success is changed to a 3 dice success, which makes it significantly harder on a 4+ to roll. And I think the percentage goes from something like 74 down to 35. But once again, I'll put up the actual number, so I'm not just guessing. So that means sticky is going to be a lot less prevalent going forward. It is a slight buff in that you no longer require line of sight to trigger sticky. But like I said, with the change to how often it can actually trigger, I think it's probably a substantial nerf to elite models and the plasma grenade in general. And currently, the plasma grenade costs 6 points, whereas the frag grenade costs 3 points. So maybe we'll see that costing drop a bit, just because it isn't as strong as it used to be. Next up, return to sender. So add the following text to final paragraph. When using return to sender, resolve this action fully to determine where an effect of grenade happens. This will only affect the final destination of the grenade. This would include keywords like blast, sticky, EMP, etc. I think that's just clarifying that, say you sticky grenade a cube and then you might get the sticky successes or something. I think it's just clarifying that when you trigger return to sender, you literally just take control of the grenade and it's now your grenade, essentially. And this is making that a lot clearer for people, because I think that was a bit of confusion. They're like, well, I stickied you, but I'm saying, well, I'm going to throw the grenade out of my cube. You didn't actually stick me at all because I caught the grenade and threw it away. So I think that's good, and it makes it clearer for people. Flight. A model with this keyword can pass through cubes without walls or floors during their movement, and may change levels without climbing up or down terrain. The model must end its move in a cube and position that allows it to be physically placed on the gaming table. If the model falls, it may not take damage or be pinned. This is not free movement, and the model still requires enough cubes of movement to do so. So I believe that's just, once again, clarifying for people that even though flight allows you to move much more freely than a normal model, it still takes a similar amount of movement to actually make that move through the air. So it's not free movement. You still have to have 3 cubes of movement to move 3 cubes, even if those 3 cubes are in the air, which is, once again, a good clarifier. So I'll go up and I'll show you how this kind of looks in the list. So if you go back to rules and you go to keywords, which are here, you scroll down to sticky. So you can see that it has the updated text there, and you go up to flight, still has the updated text. Something to note about the current errata is it doesn't list something like when the plasma rifle lost its long keyword, which it probably should do, and maybe we'll see them add it over time, because keep in mind, this is a app beta, as you can see at the top left there. But with that, I am done this video, so thanks for watching me and watching my content as I explained these new rules. Hope to catch you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff to see more videos. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.